Hello everyone, welcome to Dash channel. I'm Grizzlock and this is going to be modeling with Grizz. So a little background, I have a simulation I'm working on and I'm kind of a one-man show here. So I don't have the luxury of having any junior or mid-level artists that can handle my asset list for me. So I kind of do everything myself. That being said, I need to kind of schedule my time correctly. So I was in the middle of making a scene and I kind of needed to model a light fixture. So that's kind of what we're going to go over today. Kind of quickly modeling what you need, especially when you're kind of a one-man show. So first thing I'm going to do is kind of create a folder and go into Google. Let's see here. Let's see if we can find a decent photo. So again, this is going to be real quick. I'm not trying to make the next best light fixture. I just kind of need something up in the ceiling. I need it quick, but I also need to kind of look relatively good. So once we kind of figure out what we want, let's see here, maybe put in 4%, maybe warehouse light fixture. Okay. Alright, so this is kind of what I want. I'm not really looking for anything particular. See here, this right here might actually work. So I just kind of need a visual. So I can always add the bulbs in. I just kind of need this shape. But alright, I think this will work. I think we're going to go with this. So I'll just kind of keep this where I can get to it, and I already have Max open. So yeah, let's get right into it. Hopefully you'll get some tips and tricks on how to get through things quickly. I'm going to go all the way through the process from modeling to unwrapping to pulling out my curvature and my occlusion, so when I go into substance painter, we can get through that a lot quicker as well. So all right, get Max open here. It's not worked that way. There we go. All right, now we'll just kind of get into this. Just kind of checking everything out. Make sure I got everything I need visually. Come on. Go right in. So as I'm doing this, kind of give you a little background on where I've kind of come from. I've been in the gaming industry. I'm mainly now in the simulation industry. Been here for been doing this for over 10 years. So I got a little bit of idea how to get through this stuff. So hopefully I can pass some of that knowledge on to you. This would be good for mainly those single game creators, those guys that really have that cool game idea and just really don't have the manpower to get what they want done and kind of have to do everything themselves. So we're just going to kind of fly through this kind of quickly. And I'm not really going to get the exact shape down right now. We can always go back and we can edit a shape. I just kind of want to, and usually I'm not going back and forth either. I'm kind of only on one screen right now. So gonna probably gonna add some time to what I normally would do, but you know, hopefully the point will get across of what I'm really trying to do here. So now I've kind of got the shape. I'm gonna get these little flaps on the side right here. Oops. Just keep on moving here. So not necessarily speed modeling, although I do want to I don't want to spend more than like 40 minutes on this total. I got a lot of stuff I need to do. I still need to set up lighting after this. Still quite a bit to the project. So the light fixture, as much as I would like to make the most badass light fixture ever, I just don't have the time to spend on it. So we're gonna try and knock this out pretty quick. It's not gonna be relatively detailed, just enough to where, you know, when you look up in a ceiling, you don't see some kind of scrub model, you know, because really our goal is really to kind of trick the eye, is really what we want to do. So as long as the eye sees what it wants to see on first glance, we'll be okay. Don't really second guess the light in the ceiling. So I'll leave that there. Alright, and I'm just going to kind of change the color of this real quick. Makes it a little easier for me to work on, whatever's preferable for you. You know, I always tell people it really doesn't matter how you get from point A to point B, as long as you're getting to point B is the important part. So as long as you give me what I need in a reasonable amount of time, then we can work together with that. So all right. So we got our shape here. Looks like we got a little bit of, looks like housings or whatnot in there. I'm also probably gonna maybe put a little more detail in there, so we'll get in there real quick. Bring that down a little bit. Alright, and now we're gonna get a little bit of that detail in there. Maybe it'll make some nice lighting. Let's see here. Be pretty basic with it. Okay, I kind of got what I want to do here. Alright. So we're going to do a cylinder. Go here. Kind of fit that where it was. And it looked like it had a bit of a jag edge here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe a 2, 3, 4, a 6-sided. Like I said, it doesn't have to be accurate. You know, we're just really trying to get that visual aspect down. We'll go with that right there. Go. And then what we really kind of want is that top part. So we're going to get rid of this. Make sure I didn't delete anything silly. And we're going to flip that. So come down here and oh nope. We're going to need to go to, come on, where you at? There you are. Okay. So now we have that bottom side there. It looks like we need 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this, so I'm just hitting all that. And again, I'm not really trying to go over how to use Max. And if I'm working a little too quickly, I do apologize. You can always make comments on the bottom, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. You can also contact me at Grizzlock at dash-gaming, gaming.net. And if you have any modeling questions, anything that you would like to get better at, or maybe something you'd like to see me show, I'd be more than happy to. So that's kind of why we started this channel, to kind of help people through. We're going to be doing game reviews, live stream sessions, and a bunch of other stuff. So really hope you guys enjoy our channel and can stay tuned. So now I'm just kind of finishing up that like minor detail in there. Looks like it kind of goes all the way back. Whoops. So I'm starting to get the sense I might have made this a little too long, but we'll fix that in a bit. So now we kind of have that inner housing that's in there. Now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to hit this little part right here. I like this just because when you're going to look at it from the bottom, I think it's going to help. It's going to help kind of separate the bulb from the fixture once we make it, and it's also going to give it a little bit of a depth in there. And I don't really have to spend too many polys to create that. You could do it in normal map or some kind of bump, but I have some poly room and I kind of want to make that. So, and like I said, I'm a one-man show, so I'm not gonna argue with myself, right? If I want to do something, I'll just do it. So let's see here, and hopefully I don't pay for it later, but I think we'll be fine. And I like to do powers of 2, so we got 4, 8, 16. I don't really want to go above 16 here. We're gonna want to keep it there. Maybe let me see what 8 looks like. We'll do 16. I can always, if I have any issues, I can always go back and cut some polys out of there. And I really think we'll be fine though. I'm not too concerned about possibly going over polys on a light. So there's only going to be maybe 8 of them. And it's a relatively small scene in this simulation, so alright. Do that backwards. So get rid of that. I always kind of like to spin around, check my polys. I tend to sometimes delete things I don't want to, and when I don't check, I find out later when it's the most inconvenient. So just little paranoia things that I do as a model. You know, and I'm just kind of free modeling here, not really too concerned about anything other than my time. So, and we're almost pretty much done with the model here, so there's not too much left. I just need to knock these bulbs out and adjust a few things. Get rid of some polys I'm not going to need. So we'll bump that out, see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that'll work. Alright. Whoops. So now we're just gonna, you know what? Here, I'll go ahead and finish it. I'm not gonna unwrap the same thing over and over again, but I'll go ahead and just, for visual representation, I'll go ahead and finish it, and then when we get into unwrapping, I'll hit up the that last. I'll nix these, and I really only want to unwrap one of these, and then I'll copy it. But we'll get to that in a minute. I'll just kind of finish off what I'm doing here, just so I kind of know where the bulb placement is too. It don't take much time to recopy everything over. So just kind of, because I'm weird, I like to keep things like this. Just easier for me to work with, easier for me to see what I'm doing. You know, I probably should have got rid of the grid. I usually get rid of that grid a little quicker. Alright, so now we kind of have our fixture here. We need to add bulbs. There's no bulbs in here, but obviously we want bulbs. And then it looks like we're going to need to fix this area a little bit. And then the length actually maybe a little shorter. So we've got a few things to fix, but and we can go ahead and do that now before we do the bulbs, because the bulbs will pretty much be the last bit. So we're gonna give a little more depth to this, bring this up a little bit, right? Now I'm just kind of messing with things. Like I said, we're not trying to be super accurate. Probably could have left that pretty thin, I guess, and bring this up. So, whoops. There we go. Let's see if that looks a little better. That's fine. I mean, we're still a little thick here. I probably could have left it where it was. I want to say it might be a little hard to see if I make it too thin. So we'll leave it a little thick just for sakes of visuals in the sim. And we'll knock this out this way, give it a little bit of shape. Went out there. I'm looking down at the bottom, so negative 0.36. So then we're gonna go 0. Whatever, 37's fine. Okay, so we got that. We're gonna fix the length a little bit. So we're going here, and we're gonna go about there. I'll go back in, and we'll pull everything else in, like so, and like so. There we go. All right. Now I'm just going to knock this bulb out real quick. It's going to be a simple cylinder. Front zoom. I think we all kind of, I mean, I can bring it up if you really want it, if you just weren't sure, or if you want a specific bulb. But I think we all kind of figure out what a fluorescent bulb will somewhat look like. So I'm going to go again, 16 sides. Probably, I'll keep it at 16. Again, I could always knock it down. I could do the front part 16 and the inside 8. I don't think you'd really be able to tell, especially since it'll be glowing. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Just do a little bit of efficiency. So this is going to be kind of my outside part of the bulb. So the bulb's going to be kind of sitting in there. I'm going to give a little bit of detail to this, since we're gonna cut the bulb down a little bit. So we're gonna go here and just kind of make it relatively interesting. I don't know if that's exactly how things are. Maybe we can flip it, so maybe it looks a little better if we 180 it. Like I said, quick and dirty, but trying to at least be somewhat efficient as well. So kind of just put that in there like that, and then I'll see here, go back to my cylinder, and just kind of stick the bulb in there. Sometimes bulbs have like those little green ends on them. Here, let's do a quick search real quick. Light bulb. All right, so you got that little silver part to it too. Alright, so we'll get a little bit of, so we'll make this smaller. I feel like that's a little, whoops, a little too big. We'll go about there just to kind of give it some kind of extra depth. I can bring it down a little bit. Alright, and then here I'm going to go there. Actually, we'll just go ahead and do 2. Edible poly, oops. Alright. Alright, sorry about that. Let's see here. Let's see here. Go back in here. We're going to do 8. Now I know it's pretty low, but it's going to be glowing, and you're really not going to see it very much. So, and I kind of wanted to put some polys in other areas, so it'd be a slight sacrifice, but it'll be fine. And what I'm going to do here is I'm also going to kind of edge this out, so just so it's not so square. Give just a little bump there, and I'm gonna keep these separate so I can make them 2 different materials when I go into Substance Painter. But again, we'll get to all the Substance Painter stuff as well, so don't worry about that. So now I got my bulb here, and now we just need to kind of adjust it. Kind of wing it in here. Maybe make it to about there. Okay. And then we're just going to kind of fit it in there. Okay. And again, I'm not going to unwrap the same thing 4 times, but just for visual reference at the moment, so I can see if I got it looking the way I want, I'm going to go ahead and just copy and move it over. Alright, so I think we're pretty much done here. I don't think we really need to put any more time or effort into this. So here we go, perspective. I think that'll get the job done. So we got ourselves a light fixture, and I think it looks pretty close to what we were trying to do here. So we're going to get some of this detail and stuff with the normal maps. I'm not going to worry about all this stuff right here. Maybe a little bit of detail there and there, but for the most part, I think we're going to be set here. So alright, so now we have our light fixture. Next thing we need to do is, well, the one thing I haven't been doing is save. Make sure you save your project. If anybody's worked in Max, you know how fickle it can be. So sure, I'll have to rename it later to our naming convention, but just to keep it for now, we'll just name it light fixture. So now we got our model. My next step is going to be unwrap it. So like I said earlier, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw a smooth modifier on here. Probably 45 will do it. So all I did there is throw a smooth modifier in there over the whole thing. Just kind of smooth everything out. Now you can kind of see how the bulbs really don't look as low as they are. I'm probably going to have to push those up because there's no back to that, but that's okay. And then you can go in here and put an edible poly stack on top of that and just collapse all. So you see there, I just highlighted everything. I smoothed modifier, put edible poly stack on it, and that'll keep everything still separate, and then also apply both those modifiers. So quick little tip so you don't have to do it individually or attach everything, then deattach everything if that's what you're doing at some point. So we're good here. Now I want to kind of unwrap everything. So again, I don't want to unwrap the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to axe that. I'm going to axe all of these. I'm going to axe all of these. So basically on my repetitive mesh. Whoops. You just don't want to unwrap things. It's just make it easier for yourself. Really gotta just work smarter, not harder kind of thing. They are going to have their own space on the well, technically probably wouldn't actually. I'll show you another little tip there. So we really don't have to build this out yet. So here we go. So these are my pieces. I'm going to go in here. I need to make this a little more efficient. You don't ever want just dead polys. So we don't need, whoops, we don't need those. So I'm kind of taking out the back end of that. We're going to keep everything else, and then I'm going to go in here and I'm going to lift that a bit because I don't really have a back to this, so I don't want you to have any kind of real visual line of sight behind it. So alright, so now we got this. We're going to unwrap. So I'm going to go ahead and just attach all this so I can just knock it all out at once. So see here, attach right there. Bam. Oops. Attach. Alright. Now we got that. I'm going to center my pivot point here, reset X form. Just to make sure everything's all good. I always do a good center and reset. And I'm going to go to UV unwrap here. So again, I'm usually on 2 screens. Sorry if I'm lagging a little bit. Always best to do this on 2 screens, have UV map on the second screen and your model on the other, but it's okay. I didn't always have 2 screens, so it's not like I've never done it before. I go down here. You want to uncheck normalize map. I go to thin and I take off my seams. So I pretty much under configure. I pretty much take everything off. Unchecking normalize map will allow it to allow you to UV map it at its correct size. So I have polygons selected and I just go into the editor here and get to work. So first thing is first. I think I'll just get this inside real quick. So I just go through. And just do it. I mean, really, unwrapping particularly isn't my favorite thing to do. However, you know, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So I don't got no one else to do it. No one else to pass anything to. One of the downsides of being a one-man show, you know. However, you know, hey, they paying me to do it, so I do it. Actually, I'm missing some polys there. I can't see. Hold on. Something looks weird to me. Okay, never mind. We're good. Thought I had an error. Alright, so just kind of grabbing these ends here. And then... Oops. Come on. I know this one's a little off over here. It'll be alright. Kind of just need to flip these around. Horizontal, flip vertical. And as I wrap things, I kind of just piece them together. So go here, and then it's kind of just out the way. It's there. I've already unwrapped it. I don't have to worry about it later. So it's kind of a just do it as you go kind of mentality. And I'm going to try and get through this pretty quickly. Alright, and then tools, and I'm just going to kind of weld selected just to kind of get rid of the seams, and there's the inside. So I just kind of set that aside, and I kind of keep moving. You can work from outside in. I'm going inside out, just because I got a lot of stuff that covers the inside, and I don't know, mentally I feel like I accomplished more. Really no reasoning for going from inside out. You can kind of do however you like. Let's see here. I'm gonna grab that, and I'm gonna grab the inside. I think just knock all that out now. Okay. We're going to separate it all because you really don't want to share UV space. Because I'm going to kind of following loosely that physically based rendering kind of modeling. So and the I didn't mention we use Unity. So that's going to be also, keep that in mind. More space. I usually do like a point through padding when I model, but still get a little bit of space. So we got most of the sides. Sorry if I'm moving around too fast. Hope nobody's getting nauseous. Alright. Okie dokie. And if you're still with us, appreciate it. That I'm not boring you too much. Alright. There we go. Alright, promise we'll get to the fun stuff. I really enjoy Substance Painter, but gotta do the work. No one's gonna do it but you. If someone else is doing it, you ain't getting paid, which is also not good. Now some of you are like, why would I model light when I could just go to Turbo Squid or some other site to buy it? Well, particularly in my position, you know, you start buying art, you know, you start making the artist irrelevant, you know. Not saying Turbo Squid's wrong or anything, but if you know a good artist, hit him up, offer him some cash to make something, you know. Help us out a little bit, you know. I know it's easier and maybe even cheaper in the end, but I'm sure someone will cut you a deal, make you a light fixture for a decent price, you know, and you supported a local artist. So, you know, get out there and support your local artist, I guess. So, but don't feel bad if you have to grab stuff from Turbo Squid. It's not evil. Just, I prefer to make it. The company prefers me to make things. Oh, looks like I went through there. That's okay though. We'll fix that. Alright, I'm coming up here and I'm cutting on that. I forgot to turn this off, but I usually turn my ignore backface off. It's not a, don't need it right now. We're gonna go ahead and just do a quick little. This is just gonna be kind of like a stainless steel. It's gonna be a slightly different metal. because if you look at our photo, I don't know, I think it looks a little shinier than the rest of it. So it'll also give a different kind of material and make it look a little more interesting as well. And I'm going to, let me see if I can cheat here. Yeah, it's not too bad. That opened up pretty good. Not a big fan of automated stuff. I use it sometimes. I like to have control when I model. I've been kind of old school too, so I don't really use shortcut keys too much either. I get some flack for that, but hey, like I said, doesn't matter you get from point A to point B, as long as you get there. Let's see here. Alright, so we're almost done here. I'm going to save the light bulb for last because I think that's going to be pretty quick. I'm still on. That's alright. Let's see here. We'll just go ahead and grab that. Where'd you go? There you are. Oh, so small. Oh, still on. Tools and break. Right there. Can I do that? Will that be okay? Sure, that'll be okay. I don't think we'll have any UV problems. I think that'll be fine. I'm going to turn this because I'm going to give each one of those their own spot on this map here. So, all right, and the last thing we have is the bulb, and I'm going to do this nice, quick, and dirty. Going to go ahead and throw a cylinder on there. Do as I say. There we go. Okay. I'll check it. No, we're a little weird down there. It's alright. Okay. Alright, we're good. So we got that cylinder on there, and then I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to grab. Let's make this bigger. I'm so spoiled with two screens sometimes. And I'm just grabbing the inside of the mesh, so I don't have to actually go in there and grab all those front faces and really have to get in there. So if you see, I've only grabbed the outer side and I left the faces alone. So when I tools and break that, now I have my light there. It's already mapped, and then now I can just grab the rest of it without having to go in there and pick at it, and just do a simple layout just like that. And then if you turn on the little cube down here, the select by element, then you can just kind of pull all your faces away, which all need their own map surface anyway. So there you go. So instead of having to dig in there, I just kind of quick way to get your cylinder stuff out. I'll just kind of set it up like that. All right. So now we have it unwrapped. So obviously it's too big and go in a box, but before we do anything, I need to go back in and I need to copy all my stuff. So I'm just gonna go ahead and collapse this in case I need to edit anything else. I'm gonna file, save as, and I'm gonna underscore this UV so I know that I've gotten to the point where I unwrapped it. In case I gotta go back if I'll make any edits, things of that nature. Left zoom. We're gonna squish this a little bit. Like that, and then we're gonna bring it down. Not gonna really affect our UV too much. It'll be alright. And then I'm going to grab this and that, and we're gonna go back to our left view, and then so it's already unwrapped. So now instead of having to unwrap the same thing over and over and over again, we're just going to unwrap it once and copy it, and we're going to go back into the UV once we do that. Whoops. Alright, so I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do an object real quick. See here, center that, and then I'm going to rotate it. And I did that because if you try to rotate it the other way because it was multiple objects, it's going to give you a little bit of a fit. So it's just quicker to do it that way. You don't have to set anything up. You're fine. Just flip it around, and then we'll just reattach it in a second, and it's going to be no harm done. It'll be alright. Quick and dirty. Took like 15 seconds. Right? Not too bad. Alright. And then I'm going to take this. We're going to detach this for a second too. It's fine. You detach, reattach things. For me, it's easier because I can kind of select what I want instead of having it as an element. And I mean, we're gonna reattach in a second because I need to fix the UV, fix it into the UV circle. It looks like we have a little bit of dead poly in here, but I'm gonna leave it for now because I can't really tell if you'll be able to see that or not. So we'll just leave it whole, especially since I want to put some kind of effect on it. So now we have there, left, zoom, pivots, all kinds of. Just make this a little easier on myself. I don't want to be too difficult. And one more. And ka-chow. Alright. So we have now put our light back together and all the pieces are in there. I'm going to attach everything. And I'm going to go back in and I'm going to reset my center pivot. Actually, you know what? Let me actually put it where I want it, which is, whoops, effect pivot point. I want it up here so I can move it around that way once it's in the engine. So we'll collapse all. Let's do that again. Collapse all. All right, and then there we go. It's not sized either. I'll scale it at some point. I just kind of want to get through the process with you guys as far as making it. All right, so we're here. Let's go back in here. Let's just go ahead and knock this out real quick. Kind of been slacking a little bit, losing some time. So what we're going to do here is by element, and we're going to just kind of bring everything down. So these are all our instances. I'm just kind of giving some respectable space. If you prefer more, that's fine. Alright, so there's what, that's 6, 8, I mean. Alright, yeah, so 8, 2, 4, 4. Put that there. Let's try to speed this up a little bit. So that's that. So not everything's completely and straight. Like I said, just really just trying to get this done. It's straight enough. It'll get the job done. I'll put this back here. And is that the last one? Okay. And now we need to kind of 1, 3, 4, 3, 4. Kind of put that there, and that's the last one. We're not going to stitch any of this, and Substance Painter's pretty money, so we don't have to be surgical with this. Just trying to get everything on its own UV map and some kind of form here. It's getting a little messy, but I'm also spending a little more time on this than I want to, so I'm trying to speed up a little bit here. Okay. So we got everything out, and I'm going to fit it all in this nice little box down here. Alright, we're going to go here, and I can fit something in here. I usually like to keep things relatively the same size. However, this inside's really going to be pretty basic and simple, so I'm going to go ahead and lose some res there, but it's also going to be covered by a bright light. It's really just going to be a stainless steel, so I'm going to make the conscious decision to have this have a different resolution. We're going to come in, whoops, that I did not want to have a different resolution. There we go. We're going to go here. We're just going to kind of see if we can work this in here. There we go. Now let's kind of organize it. Maybe we can get some res back. Let's see how we can fit everything in here. Put this up top. Oops. Just kind of fitting it all in there. This is going to go up here, like so, and this will. All right, so I think that's all right. We got some negative space, but I think we'll be okay. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. That's just from experience. So I'm going to continue to move forward with this. I am going to try and separate some of the stuff down here a little more. It's a little too close for my comfort. Like that and like that. Go through here, go through here, and here, and here. All right. So we're moving along. Okay, so we got a UV map. Run out of time. So we're going to close that. File, save, and then we're gonna collapse all. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and bake this out real quick. So I just need my curvature. There's obviously a much better process to go about this. I really just want my curvature, my occlusion. And that's all I'm really gonna bring into hex normal. I will, although, move the light fixtures here out the way. So I'm going to break those off here, here, and here. And we're going to separate those when we do it. So I'm going to detach, and I'm just going to quickly, I'm going to name this low. And I'm going to name this low 2. Okay, so we got our low. It's not necessarily going to be our low. And before we do that, I am going to put a little more edge to this. think it'll help a little bit. So it's just not so not flat, but kind of a little something there. You know what? We'll be fine. I think we'll do. Actually, we'll do a little bit of a real high. So we'll go there, and then I'm just gonna kind of copy there. Whoops. I'll name it high. Go to my hierarchy here. I'm gonna get rid of my actual lows. Hide selection. And then there's my high, and then we'll do my high 2. So there we go. And I want this to pick up a little bit of normal possibly. So I'll go ahead and make my normal map too. So we'll just we're gonna put a little bit of edge here, and that's gonna catch on the normal map, hopefully. So we'll just do there. I'll do like 4. Okay, so got a little bit of rounder edge there. Okay. All right, and now what I'm going to do is unhide all. We're going to file, save as. I'm going to underscore this high-low, so I know where I'm at. And then I'm going to select everything. I'm going to set a keyframe. Then I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to see here. Move that over this way and up a little bit, and then we're going to set another keyframe. So what this is doing is I'm going to bake this. I'm just kind of moving it away from each other so I don't get any of this in the way, and you can really kind of get a better inside shot of this. I could probably break it down a little more, but for now we'll just do this for now. And I'm going to save. So I'm going to grab my high, and I'm going to just turn this off. Grab my high, and I'm going to export selected desktop. Go to my here. I'm going to do OBJ. There we go. And then I'm just going to keep it simple. Name it high. Make sure your faces are on triangles. Our X normal is going to yell at you. So export done. Then we're going to hide selection. Grab the other one. Export selected. And we're going to go low. Again, triangles, everything else is cool, and done. Okay. And now I'm going to open up X normal. And we're going to add mesh. High, and we're going to add mesh low. Go to my baking options. I kind of already got everything set, so 15, 15, 2, 15. I'm gonna do 4K. It's a little bit of overkill, but you can't up res. You can always down res. I mean, it's gonna take a little longer. I'll fast forward it, so you guys don't have to sit through this at this point. But so normal, ambient. I'll just go in so you can see my settings for my normal. Whoops. And my ambient. So there's my ambient settings. Why would you do that? And then here's my curvature settings. So that's what I run with. I have my anti-IO thing at 1, bucket size 512. Okay, so you can see my screen. So I'm also going to go in here and point to my light fixture, and I'm going to make a X normal folder just so I know that the textures that are in there are going to be there. So, and then we're going to generate. And like I said, if this takes too long, I'll fast forward it, but it looks like it's going pretty quick. Alright, so while it's doing that, we're going to go ahead and go in here, and we're going to unhide all. We're going to delete our keyframes, and then we're also going to delete the high. Don't need it anymore. So, okay, cool. All right, so we fast forwarded a little bit here. X normal is done. So what I've done here is while we're waiting on that is I broke all this up for Substance Painter because that's going to be our next step. So if you see, I have material ball for each type of material. So I have my metal painted inside the stainless steel, the glow, which would be the light bulbs, metal 2, and then metal. So what that's going to do is kind of give me the layout and Substance Painter. So and then I went ahead and saved this saved as, and I went ahead and saved as my light fixture Substance Painter. So once you do that, you want to export that as an FBX. So file, export, export selected, and we'll just export that as an FBX, and you're good to go. And all the maps from the X normal is already baked, so we're good there. So the next step would be to create your game model, which I already did as well. While we were on that little load and break. So basically all I did is I have my main object, which I named light fixture, and gave it its map because it's going to be the one. Now the bulb and light fixture are going to have the same map. When I'm in Unity, I'm going to create a new material to make more of a glow. So I gave the light bulb its own material ball as well. So, and you can just save that as game object. So you're set there. So now we can go into Substance Painter. Once we go into Substance Painter, we're going to file, we're going to go to new. I'm going to select my FBX, open, and again I'm going to work in 4K. If your PC needs to be a little lower when you're doing things, it's fine. Just make sure when you export your textures, you export them at 4K. You can always down res, you cannot up res. So, and then from here I'm going to select my 3 textures that I got at X normal, which are going to just kind of help me speed up this whole process. So we're on the downhill part of this. This shouldn't take too long at all. Like I said, this is just a light fixture. We're really just trying to knock this out the park as fast as possible and make it look relatively clean. So I'm going to take advantage of the smart materials and things of that nature. So now that's in, we need to bake our textures. So I'm going to keep my curvature, my ambient, and my normal, and I'm going to bake all textures because I want that on all across the board there. So this shouldn't take too long. Let this do its thing. So just taking all the information that I had created in Max and with X normal, and going to kind of apply the edges. So when I do these smart materials, it knows where the edges are, it knows where all my depth is, it knows where the dark spots are, where the shadow and everything's kind of going to hit. So that's kind of why we bake those maps, to make this process a lot easier, so we don't really have to really take too much time getting through this. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to do painted metal. So I'm going to go in here, and there's a blue painted metal I'm going to use, but obviously we don't want our light blue. So I'm going to go in here and just kind of edit it a little bit here. So I like all the settings, the shine, everything. I'm good with all that. So we're just going to kind of come in here and change all the color parameters here. So the base color, and I believe there was one more. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be in there, so we're good there. So now we got this kind of metalish thing. We got a little step further here. I'm gonna give it kind of like that brown kind of dusty look. So I'm gonna add a fill. Go into black mask, and again, simple, easy, taking advantage of all the preset stuff here at the moment. You know, I'm not really doing anything unique here. I need a light. I need it quickly. And so we're going to kind of get that kind of dust look there. Let's see if we can mess with some of the settings here so it's not so. So now we got that kind of like brownish kind of dirt look. A little too much. Okay. And then if we go back to our model here, we got a little bit of some indents here, a little black hole here, which goes 3 down, 1, 2, 3, and these little divots up here. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly do a layer. There's a hard brush in here. Where is it at? There we go, default hard. I'm going to cut my spacing down, size I'll control. I want this to be relatively same texture here. Put my height up, and we're going to indent in there. We're going to indent in there. And we'll come around right here, and it there. Make this a little bigger there. There. Let's see. We're going to kind of pass this, get some of that detail back so it's not so flat there. And then we're going to kind of do the same thing here. Layer. Whoops. Just layer. Got my hard brush. But here, I want this to look like, you know, I didn't model the hole in there. So I kind of want it to look like there's a hole. So I'm going to there you go. And we're going to go all the way down. So, bam. And bam there. Alright. I'm not going to do the inside. You could if you wanted. If you really wanted to get a little more detailed. Not going to really see it. So, alright. So there we go. We got our painted metal part. So now we're going to just kind of work our way down. This one's going to be pretty quick. There's a metal that I like to use. We're just going to keep the default on that. And then material 2. I think I'm going to use aluminum for that. So kind of break that up from the bulb. So now that, and then now we have our stainless steel down here, which I made a stainless steel already. There you go. This is one that material ball I made. Smart material. Do a lot of stainless steel things where I'm at for simulations. So, alright, so now we got that kind of shiny difference in there. And then the last thing would be, let's knock out this glow. I'm just going to use this kind of shiny aluminum as a start base. We'll go in here, change the color. We're going to make that pretty much white. Now we don't want chrome here, so nope, don't want height either. So we're going to dabble this back a little bit to about there. So now we got kind of like that bulb kind of look, and maybe a little bit more. So now we got that kind of bulb look, which will also be glow. So there you go. So pretty quick. Prepping everything in Max kind of made things a little quicker. So you know, we have our light. So there we go. That's it. The next thing I would do is I'd export my textures, make sure everything's set the way I need it, and get it all in the simulation. So thanks for tuning in to Dash. I hope you learned something, maybe picked up some tips, something new. Make sure to check out the rest of our channels and our Twitch stream. We'll be doing some live gaming and some game reviews. And just check out all our content. Until next time, take it easy, gamers.